Here I have 3 vintage Leupold M7 fixed 4-power series scopes. Now these scopes were made from approximately 1959 to 1963 or early 1964. Now these 3 scopes are all fixed 4-power scopes, but they have a couple of differences. When I look at this first scope here, I know it's an early version because you can tell the way the logo's done on the side of the scope body here. It has the M7 4X and it has the arrow through it pointing towards the objective veil. That was the first version of the logo, so I know it's an early scope. This second scope here has M7 sub B. And here's an ad from Leupold from 1962, and it shows the M7 sub B. Now what's weird about all this is the M7 4X scopes had permanently centered reticles except for this sub B. Now why they would start out in 1959 with a permanently centered reticle and then for some reason, I think for just 1 year in 1962, add a sub B and it would not be a permanently centered reticle is a little bit of a mystery to me. I can't get any information on this and quite figure this out just yet. Now in the top scope here, I know it was made in 1963 or early 1964, and that's because in 1963, Leupold came out with the duplex reticle, and this scope has the duplex reticle. And also when we look on this scope, you can see on the scope body here, they no longer have the M7 4X with the arrow, but they have M7 4X stamped into the objective veil. And so in these later scopes, they altered the logo like that and removed the arrow from the side, which I personally like the arrow on the side. I think it adds a little bit more class, but who knows why they did that. But that's just what they did as these scopes progressed throughout the M7 series scope. And this scope continued with this look, and it was pretty much the precursor for the way the M8 series scope would look. And in 1964, Leupold introduced the M8 series scope along with the Very X2 scope. Both lines of these had permanently centered reticles, and 1964 is also when they started the gold ring standard. I'm going to put the camera behind all 3 of these and go from left to right. So the first one being the earliest, the middle one being the 7B, and the one on the far right being from 1963.